This information you are about to hear and perhaps view, these are not necessarily the thoughts or the ideas of Gary C.Clement or the Gary Clement Radio Show podcast. We are in no way, shape, or form affiliated with the parties this story is about or was interviewed for. Parts of this content may not be owned by or the property of the Gary Clement Radio Show podcast, G2 Network Media, or any other company we are affiliated with, and this information is strictly the opinion of those being interviewed. This content is for information purposes only, and although we may make reference to various news stories, we share our own independent beliefs about the content and provide our own opinions. Please enjoy the information. Yes, this is Gary Clement, and thank you all for tuning in to the Gary Clement Radio Show. Today we have a young lady out of Greensboro, North Carolina, who has a show called the D.D. Walker Show. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
Great. Pretty good day. Yes. Okay. So first of all, just tell me a little bit about yourself and your show there as well, please.
All right. Well, I happen to be a YouTuber. I'm also an actress. I'm writing. Well, I've been writing like all my life, but I'm actually writing my first and directing my first movie that's in production right now. So I'm pretty excited about that. And my show, basically, I interview folks who are either in the entertainment business or if they got something that they want to say, whether it's political, or if it's something that they just want to talk about in general. I interview them on my show, and I have a good time.
I see. Okay. So now, how long has your show been around exactly?
So the D.D. Walker Live show, it's been on for like a couple of years on YouTube, like maybe about 2.5 years on YouTube. But the concept of the D.D. Walker Live show has been around forever. We just had different versions of it. Before, it was called Coffee Time, and that was on a local TV show right here in Greensboro. And then after Coffee Time, I continued to interview folks, and then we just wound up turning it over to the D.D. Walker Live show.
I see. Okay. So the show that you have now on YouTube, from what I saw, it seems like it's pretty much like just an audio podcast, or am I missing something?
It is there is some visuals, but for the most part, I have my avatar, and I go on there and I talk about celebrity news and stuff like that. So, but there is some visual aspect to it. I have interviewed quite a few folks, and we did it as a video podcast.
I see. Okay. So are those episodes, I guess, online as well, or?
Yes, they are. If you go to YouTube and you put in the D.D. Walker Live show, make sure you spell D.D., D-E-E-D-E-E, and it's the D.D. Walker Live show. If you put that in, you'll see my channel. And if you go to videos, you can see all the videos I have done. And then on the page itself, it highlights some of the ones that, some of the interviews that I've done, some of the celeb news that I've talked about and things like that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because, I actually had an opportunity earlier to go through and just, browse through it kind of, sort of, and I was, like I said, looking for actual visuals. And I think I saw, the actual, I guess you could say, podcast that actually had like pictures or whatnot of different people, but I didn't see the actual people themselves.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes, like, if I talk about celebrity news, like, I'll put up their picture and I'll talk about them. So that's probably what you saw. As far as I've interviewed, like, quite a few people that are, stepping into the entertainment industry. Like, this one lady, her name is Harriet Burnett. And one of the reasons why I interviewed her is not only she's a phenomenal actress, but she basically decided to go for her dream when she turned 60 years old. And since then, she's been in like a couple of, those murder mystery movies. She's been in that. She's got a couple of movies on Tubi TV called My Three Boys. She's She's in a whole lot of stuff, and she's also working on a project that I'm doing as well. So I've interviewed folks like that.
I see. Okay. So now tell me about this movie that you're shooting. What's the title of it, and what's the premise of the movie?
So it's called Jessica's Drama, and it's about these two sisters who, are distant and don't really get along, but they're forced to come together to to bury their mother. In the process of it, they go through all sorts of situations and drama. It's a comedy drama. Hmm.
Okay. So it's primarily based out of Greensboro, would you say, or is there a particular?
Yeah, no, we're filming all in Greensboro as it stands right now. All of our shots have been in Greensboro, which is really awesome. We're also filming at a location that I've filmed before previously when we did the repass. So they're allowing us to come back there and film again, which I'm excited about that. So we're going to be highlighting some staples in Greensboro, North Carolina, just kind of showing off the town and everything.
I see. Okay, cool. So who else is involved or whatnot with this particular project? And when I say that, I'm talking maybe like because you have A&T University, A&T University there, as well as surrounding schools or whatnot. Do you have any students involved at all, or who else? Who makes up the cast and stuff for this?
So the cast, as a stand, well, I just have to give you, like, if you don't mind, like a little back history of this particular movie. And so when originally I've been writing ever since I've been a little girl. I've actually took out wrote scripts and had my parents reenact them for since a little girl. But this is the first opportunity together with Q-Stack Media. They they're also known as TBC Media Group, but they're now Q-Stack Media. Got together with them and just basically we did a project just to see if we could do it. And so far it's turning into something beautiful. We haven't collaborated with any of the people in town, but we are open. We're open to do that because that would be beautiful if we can add some more history into the movie itself.
I see. Okay. So yes, because I'm just kind of curious as to like what's the actual storyline. What's the just what all is happening and stuff in the movie. Anything that you can tell me.
Um, well, as I told you before, the two sisters that learned to get together. Harriet, who actually plays Jessica, she's like really the star of of everything, and her character is very let me see, she's controlling. Um, she's not a bad person, but her situation and circumstances that she puts herself into causes her to do things that are crazy. So you'll be seeing a lot of crazy situations in the movie itself. You'll be seeing a lot of things where Harriet is getting herself into situations, and but she does it because she feels like she's doing it for a good reason.
I see. I see. Okay. With technology today, everything has changed in regards to how we use a lot of these tools, a lot of the stuff. I'm actually meeting you or whatnot on LinkedIn, which is a social media outlet. Um, talk
Yeah,
talk a- yeah,
yeah, it's so
talk a little bit
cool.
about that. You talk a little bit about the power of social media these days to help you and I do the things that we're doing.
Oh my goodness. I cringe when they want to put a cap on social media because if if not for social media, I feel, and I could be wrong, that I would not be able to do some of the things that I'm doing today. And like for instance, Lincoln, the fact that I'm even on your show and you're interviewing me is because of Lincoln, my presence on there, like, me putting up a couple of posts, we're catching each other's attention and then allowing me to be on the show is really awesome. And it's the same thing with myself because I'm also an influencer. And if it wasn't for social media like Lincoln and Facebook and where I have a very strong presence on there, I wouldn't be able to broadcast and do the things that I do if I didn't have social media. It's really, for me personally, it's helped me because I'm able to get out a message out there and on the different platforms that I have. Whereas I think that if I did not have social media, I probably, even down to the actors that we're having who are all, by the way, Jessica's drama is a personal project with everybody involved. And I don't think I would have been able to get a lot of the folks that are in the movie who are phenomenal actors to even be in it if it wasn't for social media.
Hmm. I understand. I understand. Right. And what I'm also finding out too, though, is that social media on the other side, it can be a bad place too, especially for kids. How do you feel about that?
And I do agree with that as well. I do. I do think that one of the subjects that personally I was talking with my kids who are all grown now, and we were talking about how the pressures of social media can cause somebody who doesn't understand the dynamics of how the people who are on social media got to where they're at, or even if it's true. And so a young, impressionable mind could be looking at that, and that's peer pressure within yourself to cause you to kind of feel like, well, I'm not living up to such and such as standards. Why are they doing so good and I'm not? So I think, on a young, impressionable mind, I think it could be bad. And, you got all the news out there and people putting their spin and their their way of thinking. And you have these young minds that are looking at it and, they're getting information. I'm not saying that's not true, but could be getting information that could be harmful or detrimental to their psyche.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. It's like it's a different day and different times, a different world now.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It used to be where when I was growing up, I'm about to tell my age, but when I was growing up, social media was literally the phone. You had to get up, walk over to the phone, dial the number. You were in direct contact with the person you were trying to reach out to, you know, then you got your gossip from around the way. But now you can open social media, you can open Facebook and find out who passed away, what time they passed away, and where they were at the time that they passed away. You can investigate that whole situation on social media.
Right. Absolutely. You're right. Everything is there. You're right about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as like I say, as far as I guess where are you trying to take your show and whatnot now? Your YouTube show. Where are you trying to actually grow that to?
I kind of want it to be as it is, but at a bigger scale. I actually still want to be able to reach out to folks who are, you know, possibly been in the industry for a long time, but nobody knew that they were doing it, or, like folks who I've interviewed in the past who they used to do, these great things. Like, for instance, I interviewed a gentleman from Intro, and from back in the '90s, they had like a bunch of hit songs from back in the '90s,
Mm-hmm.
and so in the future, I would like to continue to be able to interview folks like himself to let people know, look who's doing such and such and such, what benefit they're doing, and things like that. So I kind of want to take it to where it grows up a little bit. And
I see. I see.
it's like, yeah.
Mhm.
I kind of want to do people who really have, they're inspiring to do something. So it's not necessarily in the industry, but in sport, it just seems, as I seem to come across a lot of people that are in the industry. But I eventually would like to interview a lot more celebrities. But I also think that there is is a kind of a appeal to folks who they're just as big as Beyonce, but nobody knows about them. And I would love to just kind of continue to bring that to people's attention.
In closing, please give us your contact information for anybody that has an opportunity to hear this broadcast and want to get in contact with you.
Okay, so if you would like to check me out on YouTube, it's the Dee Dee Walker Live Show. And when you spell Dee Dee, is Deeddee. And you can find that on YouTube. You can also find the Dee Dee Walker Live Show on Facebook. But you can also follow me on Facebook if you go to the fan page. And it's facebook.com/Dee Dee Walker fan page. And of course, Dee Dee spelled out Deeddee. You can also find me on Instagram, actress Dee Dee. Oh, and you can also the Dee Dee Walker Live Show also has a presence on Amazon. So if you want to check out some of these products that they suggest, you can follow them on Amazon too. So it's amazon.com/shop/Dee Dee Walker.
We really do appreciate our guests who participated in this episode, and we hope you learned something that will bless your day and your life. For all who are interested in learning more about the Gary Clement Radio Show podcast, please visit www.amazon.com and order my book, The Gary Clement Radio Show, When Strong Afro-American Men and Women Stand Up. It covers everything about us and features a variety of Afro-American personalities who speak out about the importance of education and literacy in the Black community. Well, we thank you for tuning into our podcast. Please send us your email address so we can contact you when we have new releases and new episodes and new projects as well. You can reach us at gccpresents@yahoo.com. And also, if you're interested in submitting any materials or want to get in touch with us, please do so by simply sending an email to gccpresents@yahoo.com. That's G as in Gary, C as in Charlie, C as in Charlie, presents@yahoo.com. So until next time, do take care. And this is a G2 Network Media production.